People ask me very often, how come in this craziness, how can you stay so calm? Craziness, I mean all our family members scattered around the world, and crazy political life here. And my answer, well, in fact, it's not easy. It has not been easy. And it was a learning process to keep the calmness somehow. It was a process of months and months. And finally, the secret of my calmness is in the rabbits on my fridge. This is my fridge. And these are little rabbits from a Dutch children's book. This rabbit is called Nijntje in Dutch. In English, it's translated as Miffy. So for me, Miffy represents balance. For me, Miffy, balance is a Dutch value. And probably all the activities that Miffy does, I also want to do them during the day. So I'm trying to do all the activities, you see, culture, caring for others, family, reading, personal care, and so on. I try to do all those things, and in the end, to have all my Miffys on the right. So, what do you see here? This is a spectrum of all colors, ranging from black to white. Do you see how many colors, how many shades of gray there are between black and white? The balance is somewhere in the middle. The balance is how you look at it, of course. Yes, and look at the Dutch sky. It's full of shades of gray. And this is also a theory that whatever you look at in your own environment, your landscape, it influences your own attitude. It influences your mentality. So maybe it's because of all these colors of gray in the Dutch sky that we try to find a balance. We don't think black and white. We try to find a compromise. We try to see the nuances and to find the middle way, the golden middle way, and not to judge too easily. So this looking for compromises, this looking for all the shades of gray between black and white, this is called the polder model. It's called like that in politics, for example. This is Georgia, full of extremes. It's either very hot or it's very cold. You have either high peaks or you have deep green valleys. Has this anything to do with the way we look at things? The black and white spectrum that I was talking about? Maybe there is a way, without destroying the Caucasus, to find more balance in our daily lives. And with this little presentation, thanks to TEDxTbilisi, I want to give it a try and tell you about different kinds of balance: physical, social, generational. Nature is based on balance. Nature is balance. Nature takes care if, of course, humankind doesn't interfere. So also the human body is, of course, a part of nature. And there is a balance in our body. It's called the acid-base balance, or the pH value. And if we don't take good care of our bodies, our body will protest. So let's talk about food. The food intake is very important to keep a balance in our bodies. We need from every group something, every day, at every meal, if we can. Cereals, meat and dairy, and the biggest group is fruits and vegetables. We should eat much more of those. And so, when I was a public figure and I thought, how can I survive in all these working lunches, dinners, receptions? I cannot eat all the time and still, be nice to people and all the time refuse. You can't do that. So I had to make choices to survive. And one of my tactics was, when you're sitting at a state dinner, for example, to call the waiter and to make him somehow your friend, and to ask, okay, can you please skip the soup for me? And can you not put any sauce on my dressing? And maybe you will give me extra water, things like that. So I always try to manipulate somehow, not to eat too much. This is a way. So as a believer in balance, you have to really try to think through the meals, the moments of meal in your day. So when you go out in the morning, where will I have lunch? Where will I have dinner? Am I going to travel? Then I should take something. Let that something be a banana or a carrot or a tomato, something like that. So try to be preemptive, try to be proactive. Well, another thing of being healthy and live long is to find the right balance between active and passive mode in your life. So experiments with mice have shown that those who are too bored and all the time in the dark, and those who have too much stress, they die earlier than those mice that have a certain amount of stress and a certain amount of relaxation. So it's scientifically proven, let's say, that we need a balance. We cannot all the time walk on our toes, not all the time be stressed. In medical science, we call these two modes fight and flight, and digest and rest. And of course, when you rest and you digest, it's not only that I speak about digestion of food, it's also digestion of emotions. Negative emotions, positive emotions. You really need time to reflect on them. Oh, sorry that this one looks like grizzly a little bit. I didn't want to. So, yeah. Of course, you have to find a balance between your day and your night. Don't forget the golden rule that all the hours and minutes before midnight, you can count them double. That's an important rule. That period is more important for your body than later at night, apparently. And my secret is I try to catch a plane. I say at 11 p.m. my plane is going. If I'm not in bed by 11, I have a problem the next day. I know that I'll be tired, the day will not be the way I want. So try to make it a plane to catch, a train to catch before you are in bed. And then you can really be in fight and flight mode until you have done your things and you can go to sleep. So now the balance between content and form, for some between quality and quantity. This was the hardest balance for me to discover when I was First Lady. Because you're expected to do something, the content, but you have to think about how you will do it, the form. So this is just a dinner, a charity dinner for breast cancer, and I'm sitting in the middle near the flowers, and I have all these guests. It was a gala dinner, and I had to divide my attention among all the guests, of course. But that was difficult. So what I did, I talked to one person at every table, and I said, after the next course, after the soup, I will come sit in your place. After the salad, I'll come sit in your place. And before the dessert and for the coffee. So I really made the round of all the tables, talked to all the people, and they felt much more engaged, much more respected. Balance is all about respect. When you have interviews, or you prepare for a presentation, or for a meeting, you know what you're going to talk about. You have your key messages, or you have your negotiation, whatever, some things you want to obtain. But you can also prepare very well for the form. For example, if you have an interview, you can ask before, will I be sitting or standing? Is it a high table or a low table? Will there be a question and answer session, yes or no? Will I have a glass of water by my side? Things like that. It's important. What can I dress? What are you dressing? What does the decor look like? So it's all important to prepare such important meetings beforehand, because the form is what people remember. So when you have important meetings, interviews, presentations, don't focus only on the content, but think also about the how, the quality, the surrounding, the context, because that's what people usually remember. Oh, this is a blurred picture when it's big. So the balance between content and form also, when you walk on the street and you're being recognized, many people are famous in this room or will be famous one day. And when you meet people, for you it's a regular walk on the street. But for those people, it's that day, that special day, that they met you. So if you are aware of that, you're much more open, you smile. You don't say no if they want to take a photograph, but you have to be effective, efficient, because you don't have much time. So you identify the photographer, you say, okay, you're going to make the picture, okay, let's make a group picture, smile, thank you, bye-bye. So try to be nice, but efficient. Balance between past and future. When you're in a active life, as I was when I was First Lady, you think only now is all that matters, right? So you kind of lose track of the big picture, and that's dangerous. Because you need to reflect on the past. You need your experience to live the present. You also need to look to the future to see, what will I be doing in 5 years, in 10 years? So, you know, like an experiment, things like that. So in a timeless plane, because sometimes you travel and you arrive at the same time as when you left, this is the ideal way of finding a balance between the past and the future. And the same is balance between the ego and the alter. You need time for yourself. You need to work on yourself. It's a work in progress, of course. You have to find time for the others. Maybe to give them advice or to help them. And also they can help you to reflect on your own life. So try also to find the balance between others and yourself. This is the last balance I want to share with you. Of course, you have a balance between family and friends, like dividing your attention between them, but also within the family. When I thought I knew it all, after almost 10 years of being First Lady, I thought I know what's about balance. Then suddenly my mother became ill with Alzheimer's disease, and I found myself reading books, traveling to the Netherlands very often to help my father, caring for her, to spend quality time with her. And I suddenly looked in the mirror somehow, and I thought, well, I've been maybe too much involved with my kids. Have I neglected my parents? So I would advise to all of you, don't let it come that far. And give to the younger and to the elder generation your attention. It's so important because one day you will be in that third chair. You will be the grandparent. And you will want your kids to take care of you as you did. That's all I wanted to say. Be aware, be conscious about the balances, the harmony in your own life. I've given you some hints, some examples. If you feel something's not comfortable, you feel something's wrong, you're angry, irritated, depressed, maybe all the time joyful, that's not good either. Stop. Think about the balances in your life and then refine that balance, because that is really what will improve your lives and the lives of the others around you. Thank you very much.